Hi, friends. I'm Scott Giles, and welcome to Power Talk, my podcast here on Facebook Live and YouTube. I cover topics related to spirituality, hypnotic coaching, and the hypnotic arts and sciences generally. If you want to know more about my professional work or sign up for my free e-newsletter Power Lines, check out my website, which I'll tag at the end of this video. Well, today, I want to talk about the fact that every human being is flawed in some way. We're all damaged goods, and there is a lot of peace that can be found in just accepting that and not beating yourself up. Well, still trying to be the best version of yourself possible, but turn down the self-criticism. Or to cite author Tim Urban, we're all broken. Some of us are repaired, and none of us are static. We can all improve if we want to, but we will never be perfect. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca is reported to have said, we're all slaves to something. Maybe to work or to not working enough. Maybe to sleep or to not getting enough sleep. Maybe to procrastination or to overwork. Maybe to food, sex, gambling, or not getting good nutrition, or overfocus and lack of reasonable self-care and indulgence. Well, many years ago, a writer in the positive thinking movement wrote a book which quickly became a classic. The writer was J. Martin Cole, and the book is titled Your Greatest Power. In that book, the writer pointed out that the greatest power a human being has is the ability to make choices. We don't just react to what happens. We have the ability, we don't always use it, but we have the ability to reflect, think, plan, and respond, making conscious choices about what we do. I am not determined by things that have happened to me in the past or by what I've been taught or told. I have the ability to choose how I will be in the world. We all have what counselors today call agency, or the ability to take a measure of control of our lives. Now, sure, this control is not absolute. I can't choose to have intelligence, sensitivity, or athletic ability I do not have. I can choose to work on improvement in those arenas, but there will be limits based on what my biological hardware will support. But that said, within those limitations, I can choose to lean into those things that will help me be a better version of myself. I can study, learn new skills, deepen spiritually. I can work with a spiritual director, for example, something I've done many times. I can get into therapy if I've got some interior pain or limits I need to overcome. I am not static. I can choose to push the limits of myself. Well, here are a few things that have helped me when I've made efforts in this direction. First, understand that self-awareness may not be fun, but it's a positive good. It's not easy. The default setting in most people is to get defensive when we make a mistake or receive a criticism. That's always an error. If you never listen to feedback or wonder if you could improve, you will never improve. It takes a measure of strength to acknowledge that you screwed something up. But that's a necessary learning so that you gain something from that screw up and don't do it again. Oh, it's hard to hear a critique, and many of the critiques we encounter may be erroneous or mean-spirited. But there is still a wisdom in hearing such things out. reflecting on such things honestly and deciding if there is something helpful in it. There may not be, but if so, make use of that help. And if it's a mistaken critique, just let it vanish into the rear view mirror of your life. So start with self-honesty. We're all damaged goods. There's no shame in that. But it doesn't mean you lack worth. Everyone is damaged. So everyone has flaws. Dumb people refuse to acknowledge this and keep on making the same mistakes over and over. Instead, figure out the problem and try to improve. Second, when you realize that there is something in the way of becoming a better version of yourself, don't beat yourself up about it. When you were learning to walk, you fell down all the time, but you got up and got better at walking. So when you realize you've got a flaw, it's not the end of the world. Just see if you can move beyond it. And finally, and this may be hard for some to understand, not all flaws are bad. Some are. If you're abusive, addicted, self-destructive, dishonest, those are serious flaws. Try to do better. But not all flaws are bad. I learned this when I was a parish minister. You're allowed to have a personality. That means you will do some things well. There will be some things you just sort of do, and some things you'd be far better off not doing at all. And that's okay, because the unique set of skills and limitations that constitute your personality is actually attractive to others. It lets them have a kind of a handle on who you are, what you like, dislike, which way you'll jump if something happens, and that lets others build you into their own life plans, and that's okay. That fosters acceptance. That's what allows all relationships to deepen. As I sometimes quip, Christianity teaches that there was only one person who was ever perfect, and we went and killed him. No one likes someone who has no texture to their personality. There is a sense in which many of your flaws, the relatively harmless ones anyway, make you interesting. So the fact that we're all damaged goods might even be a little bit good. Hey, thank you for your time and attention today. I'll be back next week with another talk on a different subject. You are invited. It does help me a lot if you let others know about my work and my videos, so please like, share, and subscribe. And if I can be of help to you, feel free to reach out through email, my website, or my Patreon channel, and have a great week.